I need to get my hair done. Vulnerability. I'm being vulnerable by coming to you with my hair not looking the way I want it to. But it takes that. Sometimes in life, you have to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is this thing that requires different parts of ourselves to show up. And it's necessary to move forward in your life by embracing vulnerability. The funny thing about that for me is in the last, I'd say about the last week, I have needed to embrace that. And this morning I had a coaching session where it was brought up, and beautiful, beautiful soul mentioned the key word, which is the fact that we have to embody vulnerability. When we're in any new situation, which is always happening when you reference spirituality, when you are in a spiritual awakening, which is the moment the Most High wakes us up to our unlimited, our untapped potential, it requires us to embrace the unknown. When you're going in a direction, a journey to reach a goal, we have to embrace vulnerability. I mean, well, what is it, right? What people say, well, I need you to be more vulnerable, or people say, I need to be more vulnerable, right? Comment down below if you've ever questioned how, to be vulnerable, or you've come to that self-awareness that you need to be more vulnerable. And just embrace that side of the acceptance, because it's scary. Vulnerability is being open to the unknown, right? But you have to be aware before you even get there. So once you're aware that you have to be open to the unknown, it's scary, because the only way that you can be open is to be closed to begin with. So whether you have a closed mindset, whether you have an obstacle in front of you, whether you're experiencing difficulty, inner turmoil, whatever it is, it blocks you from flowing freely with the universe, from being happy, from accepting love in. Because a part of love unconditionally, right? Unconditional love is scary. There's no guarantees. And vulnerability is required to move forward, right? So being vulnerable is a gift. And in spirituality, you have to be vulnerable in order to move forward. But in life overall, you have to embrace vulnerability in order to get through each moment. I'm sitting outside of a location that is a humongous blessing to our family, and you're included. It's absolutely incredible. And it took a lot of my vulnerability to even get to this point. And it took a lot of honesty within myself too. Because in order to understand that you've got to be open, you've got to be vulnerable to anything in life, that is to say and to accept that you're not. Okay? And once you accept that you're not, that moment, I don't want you to judge yourself. Please don't judge yourself. Hey, Please don't judge yourself, because you're already judging yourself before you get to that moment of accepting that you have to be vulnerable. We're our worst critic. We judge ourselves so harshly. So know that every moment, every breath, you're not only enough, you have what you need to get through the obstacles, to get through and past the inner turmoil. And it's that vulnerability. So what goes into vulnerability? Well, I said something really pivotal, and I really want you to know that in order for you to say, I need to be more vulnerable, or someone to say to you, I need you to be more vulnerable. Well, what is vulnerability? I need you to be open. I need you to share your feelings. I need you to just really show up in your truth. I need you to be honest with me by, being honest with yourself. And I need you to create that space. They may not say it in that word, in those words. I'm a coach, so I tend to say those words. But they may say it as in, I need you to show me your heart. I need you to just tell me how you feel. I need you to open up to me, And that requires a moment of truth. And that moment of truth requires for you to accept that you're not perfect, right? And when you accept that you're not perfect, right, you accept that we don't have to be, right? We don't have to be. We're not required to be perfect in this third dimension. I believe we're required to trust our higher power, or our higher self, or divine source, or God, or spirit, or Allah. Back, I love God. A lot of active energy. Just beautiful, beautiful space. I could be out here all day. Vulnerability requires humility. You have to be down here in order to rise up, to get up to here, to kiss your higher self, to connect with the divine, to flow with the universe. So vulnerability, for you to be open, for you to accept change, right? Vulnerability is a bridge to change. In order for you to accept that, you have to accept that you are lower than the moment, the level, the energy, the blessing that you're trying to obtain, that you're rising up to, right? So that tells you that you're not meant to be perfect, which is what we talked about before, right? That you're acknowledging that you're not as open as you might need to be, or that you want to be, or that other person needs you to be, that you love, right? Because we do things for other people we love. May not be directly for us, but indirectly it is, right? And so vulnerability requires us to be grateful. Be grateful for the lesson. Be grateful for the blessing. Be grateful for being in the moment. Be grateful for the ability to change. Just being grateful that we are aware that we don't have to be perfect, that we can take an action to move out of the turmoil we're in. We can choose better. Just being grateful that we're aware of that, and that we can have that which we desire just through being vulnerable. So that's a big deal. So the hows, the whys of vulnerability is to create that change, to achieve something greater, which could just be us, for us to better ourselves. It could be to teach, to guide, to, show up as the example to our youth, our children. But being vulnerable is huge. In the 7 steps to master any spiritual awakening, Get the book. Get the book. It's on Amazon. Get the book. 7 Steps to Master Any Spiritual Awakening. You're going to see a step called vulnerability. We recycle that. Everything you do in life requires that vulnerability. With vulnerability comes fear. But you've already acknowledged that you're afraid. That's why you have to be vulnerable and open up to the unknown, to change, right? So I wanted to keep this very short, and I hope that this really helps you. It's about to be 11 minutes, 11 seconds in. You're going to take a deep breath in, and boom. Now, take a beautiful deep breath in, raising your vibration, kissing your higher self, connecting with the divine, and letting it out. The messages you receive are your spiritual guidance. That is the way God talks to us, okay? So, comment down below. I pray that this has helped you. If it has, please hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe. Come on back for more free spiritual guidance. I know I haven't been over, um, frequently, and I promise you, it's for a good reason. I've been really working on something that is really great for all of us. I'm excited, and I pray that you're going to be welcoming and receive it. I think it's going to be great for you. All right. I love y'all. I'll see y'all very soon.